Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Sunday, y'all. I missed y'all last night, but I just kind of decided I needed a night off, so I took a night off. But I'm back tonight. Happy Sunday. And it is simmering here in SoCal, y'all. That's why I called it Sunday Simmering, because it's hot as hell. And today, they say, was the hottest day. But I guess we shall see tomorrow. I'm trying to do my housekeeping for y'all, putting out my little share of my own. And come on, we back on live. Okay. So I just posted it. Hey, Hanny. How are you? Happy Sunday. I hope that your Sunday is going well. It's been a nice weekend. It's just been hot. I mean, really, really, really hot in Southern California. Hey, Uppity. I mean, let's see. Yesterday and today in the San Fernando Valley, it was 115 degrees, 117 degrees. I'm not kidding. Where I live, which is closest to the beach. I mean, it's like 5 or 6 miles away. Um, it still was in the 90s. And usually I don't really have to use my air that much. But right now, let me tell you how hot it is. I still need to use it right now. It's warm. It's and it's a little humid, and that's not normal for Southern California. Although I'm gonna tell you, I would say in the last 15 years, they've had several summers where Southern California was hit with humidity. The only thing is that with the humidity that hits Southern California, we don't get the rain that goes along with that humidity, like, back east and in the south. So it's a little bit more miserable from that standpoint, because at least growing up in the humidity, I knew that, at some point a thunderstorm was going to break. It was going to rain, you know, but it's just been kind of weird. But tomorrow is Labor Day, and many people have that day off. I've not turned off the fan in a month. It Well, I sleep with the fan on. I mean, y'all, I have personal summers at night, and so it's just, where'd that big fan go? Oh, there it is. And it's just hot to me. But now it's hot to everybody. And right now I've got this big purple fan. I don't know if y'all can hear the fanning, but I'm fanning myself with the purple fan. Just trying to, y'all know those big, huge fans that people have? Not the ones where, you have someone fanning you, but the big, huge fans where you can fan yourself. I got one of those, and it's purple. And I'm fanning myself just for a minute because, I really don't want to turn on the air, but I might have to because it's hot. Yeah, I could. I knew y'all could probably hear it because it was close to my face. But I think I'm gonna walk over here. I'm gonna turn on the air, y'all. So I'm gonna walk across the room. So I'm walking away from the music, but I can't. I'm sorry. My bill is gonna be so high, y'all. It's 86 degrees in here. And yeah, turn that light down just a little bit, son. The lights are probably making it hot too. Okay. So I just turned on some air, y'all. I knew y'all could hear that fan though, because and I still have it. I'm still fanning myself just a little bit until I can feel the air. You know, it's like this is the kind of weather where it's like you take a shower in the morning, you take a shower at night, and then when you wake up in the morning, you feel like you need like you didn't take a shower the night before. That's how this weather is. You know, but I'm not complaining too much because Southern California does for the most part have beautiful weather. You know, that's what most people move here for. Hey, Petty Murphy. So, I hope you guys were able to catch my unpacking of those Maryland blue crabs that I premiered yesterday. Even though I did not come on doing a live stream, well, technically doing my normal live stream, I did do a premiere of that, and there was a live stream, with a few people in it. But it's a real short video. It's less than 10 minutes, and it's just an unboxing. And let me just say, I've had a few of those crabs already, and they are so good, y'all. But I'm gonna put some into like a little seafood broil. But yeah, I love Maryland crabs. Absolutely love them. And I made my little sauce for them. Well, see, there's two things that people use for their seafood and everything in DC. They have this one that's called the mumbo sauce, and then there's another one that people were always making that you make with Miracle Whip and Louisiana hot sauce, and then you put a little Old Bay in it too, and then you stir it up, and it's a real orange, and you dip the crab meat into it, and it tastes so good, y'all. It tastes so good. But tomorrow I'm probably gonna put some meat on the grill, make some burgers, but I'm gonna do, some seafood. But I think I'm gonna do my seafood broil on the grill. So instead of having it in the plastic bag, I'm gonna do the stuff on the grill. So it's gonna be on. I have one of those barrel grills that has like a top shelf, and that's where I'm gonna put my seafood. The crab with the corn, with the little baby potatoes. Um, I'm also gonna put my little boiled egg in there. I'm gonna put all the butter and my seasoning in it, and then I'm gonna put it into a tin, and I'm gonna twist it, and I'm gonna put it on the top shelf. And it won't be in there as long as obviously the other stuff. I'll put it on like towards the end because I don't want it to get too hot. So it's not gonna be on there with the barbecue. The barbecue's gonna cook first, and then I'll put my seafood broil stuff on there towards the end because shrimp don't need to cook that long. And when you do a seafood broil on the grill, you have to pre-cook the potatoes just a little bit to soften them up because I'm not gonna put them on the the grill for long. So I'm gonna pre-cook my little baby potatoes just a little bit. Then I'm gonna dump them in there. So, but it is so warm. I did actually get out there to try to see if I could do my skating video, but it's too damn hot, y'all. So, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this weekend. I may, if it's cool enough tomorrow afternoon, try to do a little bit, but it's too hot to get outside and do skate moves. So I'm gonna have to put that one on hold. But I do have another one that I'm working on. So I'm working on a couple of uploads for this week. Yes. I have roller skated since I was a kid. I started out. You know how the metal skates that everybody had with the key. That's what I had first. And then I skated in the skating rinks, back home in DC, because in the wintertime, in, you know, in colder climates, black people go to the skating rink. That's what we did. Everybody skated. And then I came to California and, they skate out here too. But skating is it's like it's one of those underground cults, you know. I'm like, I'm in the skater, I'm a skater, but like I'm also in karaoke, but they're like two separate underground, like groupings, so to speak. But yeah, no, I still skate when I can. And there's a couple of really good skate sessions, when we're not dealing with, the pandemic. But right now, none of the skating rinks are open. So it is what it is. We don't get to skate at a skating rink. But the beaches are open here in Southern California. So if I wanted to, I could go out to that beach and skate. But it's going to be too many people there tomorrow, so I'm not doing it. It's going to be too many people there tomorrow, y'all. I'm not doing it. It's been a lot of people at the beach this whole weekend. And I can't even say I blame them because it's just so hot. I mean, triple digits is a lot. And the coolest places to be here are literally the places that are by the water, you know, by the water. I'm just looking to see what you guys are saying. So what are you guys doing tomorrow? Are people, I know a lot of people, not everyone necessarily celebrates, not everyone celebrates Labor Day, but if you are, you know, it's I guess, are you going to be barbecuing? Are you just going to be kind of chilling at the house? Hey, Zero. Who, me? I sound like an interesting person to know. Thank you, Petty Murphy. Oh, you're in Chicago, so you know about the water? Oh, my dude is from Chi-Town. Yep, South Side. That's where he's from. Yeah. And I got family in Chicago, also South Side. My family in Chicago's on the South Side too. And two of my uncles went to Northwestern. Yep. Oh, okay. You on the South Side too, Petty? Yep. He's from the South Side. Yeah, so y'all got the water in, but it's hot in Chicago in the summer, but it's hot and humid. Y'all right on that lake. You're from the south side. Yep. Yep, he's from the south side too. You got all you know is you got a day off tomorrow, Zero. I know, I know. That's what I know. I got a day off tomorrow. But you know how it is. And in order to get paid for the holiday, you got to work the Friday before the holiday and the Tuesday after. So y'all better show up to work on Tuesday so y'all get paid for tomorrow. And you don't just give them a free day off that you don't get paid for. Don't be calling in sick on Tuesday. And I mean, that's how most employers are. Even if you are salaried, they don't play that mess. Show up to work the day after the holiday to get paid for the holiday, and show up to work the day before the holiday to get paid for it, unless you have approved vacation time. The south side is yeah, south side of Chicago is rough. It is still, unfortunately. Unfortunately. You know? That's where our forever floatist is from too. She's from the south side. Oh, you guys, I just want to put out a fact that I didn't even know about this, but they were talking about this today. And my dude brought up this one important point. When 45 and his wife moved into the White House, they had every single toilet in the White House replaced. Now I'm gonna let y'all think what y'all want to think about that. But y'all know what I'm thinking. I mean, you had every single toilet in there. And it's not like the White House hadn't been, re, remodeled every time, but you specifically had all the toilets taken out and replaced with new toilets after 44 and his family moved out of there. Y'all know that sounds pretty much racist to me. They didn't what they thought that they were too good to sit on the same toilets that the previous administration had been on. Anyway, it's crazy. It's not like, you can catch being black from the toilets. And I'm sure the way that they keep everything in that place, everything, at least I would hope, was immaculate. I'm sure they didn't have old toilets in there. Anyway. Oh, I said unless you use them. Yeah, but see, pay time off has to be approved. That's what I'm saying. You can't call in. A lot of the places won't pay you for the holiday if you call in the next day sick or you call off. It has to have been a plan. So, in other words, you have to have already taken the day off to get paid for the holiday. That's how most employers work. That's the criteria for getting paid for the holiday. Now, of course, a lot of people took a 4-day weekend, so they didn't work on Friday, or they're not working on Tuesday. So as long as you know, that's what I usually do to make sure I'm going. If I think I don't want to come in, I do it ahead of time. But you know, in our current situation, if I took an extra day off, it would be to do nothing. You know, pretty much. Oh yeah, hey Darren. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people. I mean, we have a tough situation with this upcoming election anyway. It's not like It's not like we have any beautiful choices to pick from. And you know, I am, you guys know I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter either. You know, but you do know what you're doing with Mr. Trump. He ain't never lied to you about who he is, and he does exactly what he's going to do, and he's not going to do anything for anybody he don't want to do anything for. And he has an unfortunate, ignorant view of the people who are out there and protesting against police brutality, and he has an issue with being accountable for things that he does wrong. You know? So I said, oh, they lucky to have, yeah. Well, see, with my job zero, we're all remote, and we always were remote. Most of the people that work for my company were remote before COVID, and the only thing that changed for us is that most almost the company went 100% remote. However, some of our folks are going to be going back into the office soon, but it's going to be very limited staffing in the offices. They're not going to have that many people in the offices, and it's only going to be places where contractually um, we have to have somebody in the office for the specific company, or if it's servicing, because the company that I work for does servicing as well. Yeah, but the 2020 elections, this is just, I think it's, I hope people don't wait till the last minute to go vote, because at least in the state that I'm in, they got a week to go vote. A whole freaking week. And they also have the option to mail in. And I don't think that my state is the only state that's doing that. And I think the ones that are doing that specifically because of what's going on. They just have to vote, by the election day. And we've got all they have the touchscreen things, and then the mail-in ones is where you just, it's just boxes. So those are our options. The touchscreen thing was okay for me in the primary, you know, and they didn't seem to have any issues, at least when I was there. But technology is technology, and I'm still thinking about all of these countries such as Russia that want to hack into our election. And see, 45 is trying to say that they're trying to do it for Biden, but nah, they want to keep your foolish behind in there. There are some things that he has done that have been very good for the American, you know, for our country, but there's a lot of stuff that he has not done that he should have done. He should have, like, one of the things I think that he shouldn't have done was disbanded that committee that was already in place to handle pandemics when he came into office. But his arrogance and his jealousy and regards and hatred for anything that was done by 44 is why he foolishly disbanded that. And so when we came into this year and we needed such a council, none existed. If that had been in place, then we would not be the only country who's still dealing with the numbers that we're dealing with. If those are real numbers. If those are real numbers. And whether he wants to believe it or not, you know, him continuing in office is going to be dependent a lot on how people feel he has handled what's been going on. A lot of people are going to look at it from that perspective. And he cannot blame everything on somebody else. At some point, as a leader, you have to take responsibility for things that you did not do well. That's what a good leader does. And unfortunately, that is one of the things that he is lacking: accountability. And I don't get that. Yeah, the Electoral College, however, there's a case that went to the Supreme Court. The Electoral College has to vote the way that we the voters vote. They cannot do what they want to do. So yes, it is the Electoral College, but the Electoral College is based on what the different states determined. Now, generally, how it works in states like California, whoever wins the majority, you know, wins all of the electorals for that state. So that's how it's going to work. So it's going to be based on, like, say, for example, if Mr. Trump wins a state like Michigan again, he's going to get all of those electorals. So it's critical for both of them to be concentrating on the states that are critical for them to be able to win the electoral. That's what they need to be focusing on. Well, what I believe, Zero, is that in the past that was not necessarily the case, and because people were concerned about the electoral college voting how they wanted versus the way that the voters have basically instructed them with their votes, it went all the way to the Supreme Court. So, that's the way it's supposed to go. Because, see, the Electoral College vote doesn't happen until after the general election. After all of those votes come in, then the Electoral College convenes and votes based on what happened in that. That's so it's a whole process. I know. I paid attention to government class. I did. And a lot of people don't understand, that part of the process. When we actually do the general election, I believe it's November the 3rd this year. It is after the general election where we go in, we put in our votes, all the absentee votes and everything gets counted. Then there is a meeting of the Electoral College, and they then vote, cast their votes, the official votes, based on what we voted. Well, you know what? See, did you take political science too? Because it was better explained, at least in my political science class, but it could have been, I could have had an advantage of being at a private school in our nation's capital where we could go visit, you know, to explain government. Yeah, I know, but you know what? Here's the thing, Zero. Even if even if you didn't learn that stuff totally in school, information, every voter, as a voter, you should understand the electoral process when you go out there to vote. So you were one of the people who went to so that you would understand. And a lot of people don't understand the electoral process, but it's really important that you do understand it. You know, because if you understood the electoral process, you will understand that although Hillary won the popular vote, she did not win enough electoral votes. In other words, she didn't win electoral votes in states that were critical. She won states like California, but she didn't get states like Pennsylvania or Michigan, which traditionally were blue states, but they weren't. And by losing those states, she lost the election. Because even though when we're doing our when we're doing our popular vote during the general election and they're showing you that thing, they're showing you who the predicted winner is based on that, based on what who won what state. That basically tells you how the electoral college is supposed to vote. And that basically tells you how many electoral votes each one of the candidates should have from each state. And based on that, that's how they're able to determine who actually wins. And generally, the person who wins the popular vote is also the electoral winner. But in 2016, that was an example of of that not being the case. Let me see what you guys are saying. But the thing is that, uh, and let me just not. I don't even mean to be any kind of way, but a lot of us don't understand, and I'm talking about common people. I'm not even talking about one race. A lot of us, us who go out there and vote, do not understand the electoral process. We don't understand it, and we need to. You need to understand how it works. Yeah, this is one of the things that they should have done on Schoolhouse Rock. Remember when they used to do Schoolhouse Rock? It told you about how a bill becomes a law. It went through different. It went through a lot of the different things with government, but it didn't go over this. I guess they didn't feel kids needed to know that part. But these youngsters understand more about voting than we did when we were growing up. No, it is. I know, Zero. They don't understand it, and but a lot of people don't. People don't want to deal with politics or however they want to call it, whatever. But the thing is that you need to care about what's going on in the country that you live in. You need to care about who is leading the country that you live in. You know, you just need to. Hey, Willie. Okay, Petty. it is crazy that people don't know, and a lot of people figure, you know, you know why understand the stuff, but hmm, you don't have to go to college to understand the political process. You know, and it's not that complicated. It's just this is the way it was set up in the very beginning. They set it up this way purposely. They set it up this way purposely so that it would not be a pop. They did it this way so to keep the presidency from being a popularity contest. That's why there's an electoral college. And that's why each state has a specific amount of electoral votes depending on the voting population in their states. You're right about that. You're right about that, Zero. You know, each one has the same agenda. They just have a different way of going about it. Each one has the same freaking agenda. And that agenda has nothing good in it for, the majority of us American people. It doesn't. And that's okay, you know, because at some point, things have got to change. Like I said, it's crazy that I can count how many on one hand. I can count on one hand how many of our presidents were under the age of 50. And let's see, what do we have? We had Kennedy, one of the Roosevelts. I think Teddy was. Hey Joe, I think one of the Roosevelts was younger. I think it was Teddy that was younger. Um, then we have, I think Clinton was like in his late 40s. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Teddy Roosevelt and Obama and Kennedy. I mean, it's like, so that's what 4 or 5 presidents. Let me see what you guys are saying. How you doing, Joe? Good evening. Yeah, it was Teddy Roosevelt. So I mean, but and maybe at a different time in our country, we were good with having these old men. We were, but these old men are really not for us. They're not for the country. They have archaic views and they're out of touch. And I'm saying that about both parties, the majority of the people in both parties that are in leadership. I mean, They're not, you know what I mean? I'm looking, I mean, because here's the thing. Even if you're somebody who's in my age range, that might be too old, too. Really, you need someone under the age of 50 when they're, you know, in that office, starting in that office. I mean, 70 something is too old, y'all. 70 something is too old. And, it's like, and I'm saying this as someone who is over the age of 50. When I was younger, I thought that was, having these old men for presidents was crazy. Now it's even more crazy because we are so far removed from where we were back then when this was the norm. We need to change it. We need to change it. But as I said before, that means that we need more younger people to get politically involved and to go into a life of public service, even if it's not going up to the highest level. And there's a lot of positions that are voluntary in your cities. That's the only way we're going to start to make some changes. You know, just being real about it. Cause y'all, if this man gets back in there for another term, I just don't see an end to the police brutality, uh, on black people and brown people, you know, and anybody who's not white. I don't see it going away. I see it continuing. You know, not to put a downer, but it's reality. It's not fun being grown up, y'all, sometimes. Because we have to think about these things, and we have to think about these things that are going to make impact on the next generation. And yes, if this man is in office for another 4 years, you have to think about what impact him being in office for another 4 years is not only going to have on you and I, but what impact is whatever he does while he's in office going to have on the next generation. Because keep in mind that, you know, there's going to be some more seats getting vacated in the Supreme Court. Okay? And, you know, our Supreme Court is appearing to be more and more conservative and less middle of the road. And if he, in fact, is president for another 4 years, he will have an opportunity to put more people, a few more people in, which is going to have an impact. You know, because one of those dudes, with the one who had issues, was there. What's the one? I can't think. The one who went to high school in the DC area that was accused of doing something. Yeah, that one. Well, I'm not saying that it went down. It went down when Obama was in office. It because you're correct, it did not. But it has continuously gotten worse and worse. Or maybe we're just hearing about more and more. But in my eyes, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. But no. There was a lot of black on black, there was a lot of black people getting killed when he was in office. And yeah, I know people want us to talk about the black on black crime. Yes, that is a problem too. And that needs to be fixed as well. And that's a continual problem that we need to deal with. But we don't want our people being taken out, period. I mean, and both of those battles have to be fought simultaneously. But at some point, I want our people to be looked at as human beings and not being looked at as less than human, as animals. And that keeps happening. As though we are going to act hostile when someone else wouldn't. We are presumed guilty instead of presumed innocent. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Here's the thing. The stacking of charges and all of this stuff, three strikes, all of that stuff, that proceeded 44. Okay? And really, we need an overhaul of our judicial system on the state level and on the federal level. But we especially need it on the state level. We need to give discretion back to judges. And we need to take out these mandatory sentences and the stacking of charges. We do. And nobody, not the current president, not the one running against him, none of these people really have addressed that. Nobody's addressed that. That's what really needs to happen. It's not about beefing up the police. It's about fixing the judicial system. Then maybe you won't have these police out here doing this stupid stuff they doing. It's just crazy to me. But yeah, Clinton knows he did wrong. He knows he did wrong. He knows he did wrong. He has apologized. Same thing in California. Governor Jerry Brown did all that stuff back in the day. And when he came back in office, before our current governor was in office, during his past term, he was in there. He was trying to undo some of the things that he helped to put in place here in the state of California, because he recognized his actions are the reason why so many black people are in prison in the state of California. Yeah, Hillary got her issues too. You know, she just was not a likable person. She was not a likable person. And I'm just going to be honest. If the country is ever ready for a woman president, it has to be someone who people like. You know, it can't be someone who's unlikable, who's not, you know, women didn't like her. She was not, she was, you know, she needed to soften her image up. She needed to, she needed to, you know, not be so tough, or at least appear to not be such a tough person. You know, but she ain't going for it. It's never going to happen for her. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. That's why she didn't even try to put her hat in the ring um, against Donald again. That's why it was Bernie and Joe doing it. And see, here's the thing with Bernie. They Bernie cannot get away from this label that they wrongly put on him of being a socialist. That's not really what he's spouting, you know. But put that they like to put that spin, the Republicans, on, you know, Bernie Sanders, and really they like to say that about the Democratic Party, period. And neither one of these parties has any socialist tendencies. They're both very capitalistic. Neither one of them is very democratic either. You know, so it's just, y'all, this is going to be the weirdest presidential election in the history of our country. And if you are a praying person, you should be praying. You should just be praying that God's will, or whoever it is that you pray to, you know, that their will be done in this country. Because we're a very reprobate and godless country. No matter how many people are spouting that they are Christians around in this camp. As a whole, that's how, even though this country is quote unquote founded on Judeo-Christian principles, religious principles. I'm just making the case that that is what our country is now. Forget about how it was founded. Well, we know how it was founded. It wasn't founded for anybody whose skin was not white. It wasn't. So we're all an afterthought. And those of us who are black, y'all know I won't say African American. I'm done with that word. And the people that made it up, it's silly. You know, it's as silly as calling ourselves black. It's silly as calling ourselves colors. You know, we're American. You know, our skin is brown. Most of us, because most of us don't truly have black skin. We're shades of brown. But it wasn't meant for us. I'm telling you, they still haven't changed it. You know, we're still 5/8 of a man. And if anybody can find where they did change that, please let us know. I surely like to know. I surely like to see that documentation. I would. But I know it's going to be hot as hell for most of us tomorrow. I do plan on, tomorrow I'm going to try to come on. But like today, I was thinking about coming on when I was outside for that little bit of time that I was outside. And I was afraid that my phone was going to get too hot. Exactly. The colors of the class system that was defined by Europeans. It's really sickening. And it's sickening that we're forced to put ourselves within the color system. We have to pick a box. So I always pick all boxes that apply. I don't care. Especially on that census. Mess with them. Because none of the boxes that I check say I'm white. You know. But I'm telling you, there's all these different digressions that you can be and be black. No, it has nothing to do with the color of our skin. It's just that they placed us all into these colors. They did it to everyone who wasn't like them. And they decided that their skin color was the best skin color. If you guys ever, want to look at the European color system, it was developed specifically to empower them and to make us seem as less than. And when I say us, I mean everybody who is not them. Everybody who's not them. It's a sad situation. But it's the entire world follows that freaking system. Unfortunately, to some degree. Internally within their countries. Because even when you go to South American countries where you have many, many people who are black, I'm Colombian. But internal to Colombia, you do have black Colombians or whatever they call themselves in Espanol. But they do deal with the different colors. And I'm telling you, it's all because of that European color class that was in place. It spread around the world like fire. They even have it in China, Japan. Okay? Because you do know that the slanted eyes that Asians have actually comes from Africa. Everything comes from Africa. Except the Neanderthal, but we're not going to get into that one. We're just going to leave the Neanderthal over there somewhere. Because we're at an hour, and I don't even want to go into that deep type of conversation. But there's a few channels out there that do talk about it. But I don't want to start no stuff. Let me come on camera so you guys can see me. I hope y'all can see me because it's kind of dark in here. Let me see. Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Yeah. Hey, everybody. It is a little darker in here tonight because, trying to keep it cool. Here comes my son. Y'all see the chocolate man. Say hi. Yeah, hi. There you go. Wave at the camera. Yeah. He's saying hi to y'all. All right. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know, it's a Sunday night and everybody is just chilling. Most of us don't have to work tomorrow. So I hope that I will see you guys on tomorrow. I will be trying to come on a couple of times tomorrow. But until then, off you guys. Peace and blessings from the west side. We are just chilling here in this air. I'm going to turn it off now because it's late, and but I couldn't be sweating. Couldn't come on here with a shiny face for y'all. But I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Peace.